So today, the topic that I want to discuss is self confidence, but the more specific bullet point that I want to target is making yourself become so uncomfortable that it forces you to grow. So I'll start with a good story that I heard from one of my mentors, a gentleman named Bedros Keuilian. If you don't know who he is, he's the creator and founder of Fit Body Boot Camp, which is a huge chain of small gyms across the world. His story basically starts just as any success story you would like to hear. A young kid that moved here from a foreign country, Armenia, didn't have much going on. They moved here with no money. He's a self-made man. So a lot of the things that he's discussing are not things that he learned in an educational book. These are life lessons. There's one story that he said that it really struck a lot, and it makes you put a lot of things in perspective. It might not even be true. I don't know. But the story is this. He lives out here in Chino Hills, so he's a local, semi-local guy. But early on, he was around the Venice Beach area, and he was just like a young man fulfilling a dream, or attempting to. He told me that, not me, obviously. I never met him, just so we're clear. I say mentor, somebody that I go to for resources that's specific to what I do, which is the fitness industry. But much more than that, he's just a great man to listen to that's learned a lot through trial and error. Anyway, so the story is that he's walking along the beach and he comes across this gentleman fishing. Just your standard guy fishing, probably retired. He had a bucket next to him full of crabs. Nothing out of the ordinary. It's not anything that would have made him triple take anything that's not what you would normally see. But he saw in the bucket, over the top of it, there was one of the crabs, it's a bucket full of crabs, climbing and crawling its way out, attempting to get out of the bucket. So he walks over to the gentleman and says, "Hey man, one of your crabs is about to escape out of the bucket." And the gentleman looks at him and says, "Just watch and see what happens next." So Bedros looks into the bucket, and as this crab is attempting to claw its way out for freedom, all the other crabs underneath him are grabbing him and pulling him back in, prying him back down away from something that he is trying to create for himself, which is the unknown, outside of the bucket. I got to be there. Everybody else is inside here, but I got to be out there. So he's trying to get his way out, and these crabs are pulling him back in. And what that really showed me, obviously, was just a great analogy of us as individuals trying to do something with ourselves that is maybe uncommon, something separate from the pack of our surroundings. And these crabs pulling him back in were preventing this crab in this situation, from growing, from going beyond their comfort zone to see what's there, how he wanted to better himself. This can be taken back to any one of us around our surroundings, being around good people that have their best interest and your best interest at heart. At the same token, though, it boils down to the individual taking that leap. That fear that failure is always going to be there. Obviously, if you've never been there before, it cannot be something you're comfortable doing. We all go back to and resort to what we're normally used to doing, which is comfort. Comfort never really helped anybody grow beyond what their expectations for themselves was. So that story really held weight to me, and it takes me back to one of my own personal stories, which I'm going to tell you now. Back about 13 years ago, I'll be 38 is July. So yeah, I was about 23, 24 years old when I was in car sales. Now, and you don't know me, I got into car sales early on, not to become some great car guy, but I wanted to develop the skill set of communication, of talking to people. This is not one of my skills I ever had, ever in my life. I was not that person that was just comfortable talking in masses of crowds. So in the car sales world, you have individual conversations with a complete stranger, and you're selling them a product that's valued between $10 to $40, $50,000, and you have one shot. This is not a building relationship over time and then eventually they're going to buy something from you. That's not that environment. This is way more of a hard close, cutthroat sales. So anyways, in my very first few months, I had a great month. I sold 20 cars, which in the car world is insane. So I was invited to this seminar to go with many other car dealerships with their finance managers, their general managers, their top sales guys. Me and three other guys from my store, we all went, And it was awesome. It was great. We had a speaker up there that was going through a lot of different great information on how to better excel yourself at your store with the car sales. They did a group challenge, I guess. You and your team, they give you 20 minutes to create a script, and you go up on the stage and you perform this script in front of what had to at least be 300 or 400 other car people. So you're performing something that everybody else is doing also. Imagine the pressure and the amount of judgment that's on you. You're not going in front of a bunch of people that don't know what you're talking about. These are people in the same industry as you, just as successful, if not more. So you need to get up here and put on this skit with a 20-minute prep. Here's the guidelines. Create something as far as like a sales pitch went. So my group and team are doing it. We're all getting, together, figuring out what to do. We come out with the idea. Now it's time to see who's the lead. Who's going to be the person that steps out there in front and does and leads this? I'm looking around my group, and there was zero confidence in anybody's eyes, myself included. It was at this very moment that my life changed. This 5-minute experience changed my life like nothing else I have ever experienced in it. For the mere fact that nobody in my team wanted to go out of their comfort zone to do something scary with so much risk. I did not want to, but I had one brief moment where I told myself, you know what? You got into this industry for this specific moment, to break free from those handcuffs, which is your comfort zone, and take it to that next stage. We don't know what's there. I don't know what's there, but I'm gonna find out. I'm gonna find out, because I'm gonna be the guy that jumps up on stage and either makes a fool out of myself or learn something spectacular that's gonna better me. And I did it. We went up on stage, we did a 5-minute skit. The second I got up there and looked all those car sales people in the eyes, I had my breaking point where I'm either going to crumble right now in front of everybody, or I'm gonna put my chest out, I'm gonna tie my belts on tight, I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna do something that I've never done in my life. And I did it, and I did it well. My team won, we won the challenge. I walked out of that place with so much more confidence, not just what we learned in there, but that brief moment, that was my epiphany, that was my breakthrough. I pulled off my shirt and exposed that S on my chest. From that day on, my confidence went through the roof. I never looked back. I wanted to become something that was far beyond my possibilities, my mind thought I could be. I was not this person. I didn't have this skill set of being a great communicator, being this great salesman, but what I did have was the grit and determination to do something that was way beyond what I thought was possible for myself. I'm doing that now, and I'm not done by any means necessary. I'm gonna keep going until I feel that I've done and helped everybody I possibly could. And when that day comes, I will be on my deathbed, because there's so much hunger inside of me that there's nothing or nobody that's gonna pull me back into that bucket. There's nobody that's gonna make me feel that I can't keep going forward because you turned left, because you got too afraid of what's further down the road. So your lesson for yourself is to tell yourself that we all have the same possibilities. We all have the same opportunity. Are you going to be the crab that's jumping out the bucket, or are you going to be one that's pulling somebody down to your level to make you feel like where you're at is okay and normal? I didn't do that. I'm not doing that. I'm never going to do that. I'm going to always grow. I never want to be the smartest person in the room. I always want to be the person that's standing next to people that have succeeded. I want to know how they did it, how their mind has changed, how it's changed their life with their family at home. I want to know everything that's going to take to become a better version of myself. I encourage you to do the same. I got to stop and get some cough medicine because I have a small cough, and I can't have that when I'm in the gym giving you guys the best service possible every single day. So I will see you in the gym. But again, take that lesson for what it is. We all have the same possibilities, and we're capable to do anything, no matter what you think you can or cannot do. I did it. I'm doing it. I'm going to always do it. I'll see you guys soon. Stay motivated.